I'm meteorologist Cheetah Craft with your tropical update. Let's talk about Hurricane Idalia. So Idalia made landfall this morning at 6:45 as a Category 3, so a major hurricane. Previously making landfall between 4 a.m. this morning to right around 6 a.m. It was actually Category 4 and had maximum sustained winds at 135 miles per hour just before landfall. At 6 a.m., it did weaken to a Cat 3. So again, it made landfall at 6:45 this morning as a Category 3 hurricane. So that was a major hurricane at landfall. Right now, the latest update from the National Hurricane Center, this is the 11 a.m. advisory, maximum sustained winds at 85 miles per hour. So this is a strong Cat 1. So we have a Category 1 hurricane. And notice how you can see it's still moving north-northeast at 20 miles per hour. All morning long, it was sustaining its speed around 17 to 18 miles per hour. So the fact it's on land as a Cat 1, continuing to hold strength as a Category 1 hurricane, but still moving at 20 miles per hour, that is amazing. Let me put the latest track into motion. So expected to remain as a Category 1 hurricane as it moves through portions of southeast Georgia into the southernmost portion of South Carolina. Now the track did shift just a little bit, so it may move into the open waters of the Atlantic maybe just a little bit earlier than what was previously expected. So some point late this evening or early tomorrow morning in those overnight hours, that's when it's expected to take that easterly turn and move offshore. Now that is going to take some time, and even with it, we are going to be tracking rounds of very heavy rain all throughout the day today, and there's still the potential of flash flooding. Now, not only with the circulation of Hurricane Idalia, it's actually also with the tides. Now, we're going to reach high tide here over about the next hour, and it's different times right along the immediate west coast of Florida. So with that, and also our full moon that peaks tonight, it's actually intensifying that. So it's called a king tide, where we're going to start to watch these elevated surfs and tides be able to kick additional moisture onshore. And when it does, that can create its own flooding problem. So not only the wraparound moisture from Hurricane Idalia as it moves northward, and it's still sustaining that eye wall there, but this is additional moisture that's kicking up offshore thanks to the high tide. But let me zoom on in on our radar at this point. Again, coming up on your lunchtime hour, and we're looking at some of these really heavy rainfall rates through the day today. We're also going to be on guard with the potential of severe weather. Now, putting the forecast track on how much rain we could see, not only for Florida, but now let's focus in on Georgia and portions of the Carolinas, both South Carolina and North Carolina. When you see the red, notice that's indicating between 4 to upwards of maybe 5 to 6 inches of rain. When we get in that purple shade, now we're going from 6 to potentially even 10 plus inches of rain. So this is additional flash flooding. That is with Idalia as it moves northward, but we could still hear about additional flash flooding that's happening thanks to those high tides. So a lot to monitor, and we're also talking about strong winds. Now, as far as your tropics update, of course, we had Idalia. The next name on the list is Jose, Katia, Lee, Margot. We've been continuing to monitor Hurricane Franklin as well. It was a major. In fact, Franklin was our first major hurricane of the season. It is now a Category 2 in the open waters of the Atlantic. It's going to stay just west of Bermuda, but we'll be monitoring that as well. Tropical Depression 11 did develop yesterday. We still have medium odds with the wave just off the coast of Africa with that potential of development, but the next name on the list would be Jose. We are right in line with the peak of hurricane season. Statistically, the actual peak is on September the 10th, but I usually look at mid-August to mid-September when we typically we start to reach some of our higher storm count, which is exactly what's happening this season. So we've had anywhere from, we were expecting, as far as our forecast goes, between 14 to 21 named storms. If we reach 21, it would actually take us through our list of names all the way to Whitney. Whitney is our last name on the list, and that would be 21. Now we, with Idalia, just hit I. So we're starting to see that count ramp up. Now within the storm count, we were supposed to have between 6 to 11 hurricanes, and out of the 6 to 11, 2 to 5 major. We've already hit the 2 major with Hurricane Franklin and Hurricane Idalia. So just keep in mind as we continue to monitor Idalia and the impacts that are expected to be felt. I'll go over one more time that radar so you can get that last imagery. Maybe if you just tuned in. So here it is. Here's that broad scope. These are the outermost bands already impacting South Carolina, North Carolina, but really moving into northern Florida, going to kick back into southern Georgia, and this will continue to be a rainmaker over the next 24 hours, the potential of flooding, and we'll be also watching for the west coast of Florida with those high tides through our early afternoon. You can always check KGU.com for the latest updates.